See, he's way out on the patches. He doesn't need to be out there. Suck up against the curb. And that'll set you up for this turn. See, he's pointing off the track almost right there. He recovered fairly decent, but it still, see how it pushes you out? See, all these guys are getting bunched up right here. There's a turning cone right there, inside of the patches. There's no reason to have to hit any patches through there either. There's a clean line through that whole section. So through this whole section right here, there's a clean line. When you hit your turning cone, stay on the inside, right in this area, inside again, it's all clean through there too. If you're taking the right line, it should be a clean line. There shouldn't be any patches or sealant or anything. And then I notice a lot of guys, you guys are still way, way out here on the outside of the track. We had talked about earlier is when you come out of the back portion of 9 going into 10, to suck it up a little closer to the curb. And if you enter a little bit closer to the curb, there's patches out there, but you can also stay to the inside of those patches too. So if you look at where my bike is, these guys are out on the patches. See that? He's out on the patch. You don't want to be out there, you want to be on the inside. That's going to make your bike spin up. So on that hole number 10 there, enter tight, exit tight. There's no reason for you guys to be out on the patches or past the patches.
What's your opinion on this? Because coming down through 9, when you're up to speed, your momentum carries you out to the exit. I'll get sucked all the way in here, right?
Absolutely.
So, I tried that. I tried coming in tight, but then being that tight, it tightens up right here, and I run out of lean angle. And I can't get on the gas because I'm cranked all the way in comparison to coming out, drifting out here, and then I don't go all the way out here, but then I kind of round it a little bit more so that I can set up for that.
So what I do is same concept. We're out over here. We pinch up tight against this curve. You drift out a little bit. Bring it back to, no, this side of halfway. And then what will happen is you'll clip the curb and you'll go out just to a point of where the patches are, and that's where you lean your bike back in and start getting on the throttle again to accelerate up and also on the inside of this curve coming up over the hill. So as you drift out over here, there's a spot. You're looking out to your left and there's patches. Drift right up to the patch, lean your bike back in, and then get on the gas and carry the gas all the way up and over that hill. And be careful because you'll definitely wheelie over this hill if you are running short gearing like myself. So I got a little bit of just power wheelie coming up over that, just under power. I mean, I didn't even fan it or anything, and it just came up. So anyways, on 10, try to stay a little bit more inside. Everybody out here was way too far to the outside. It's also safer on the inside, a lot safer. And again, coming down into pit end, there's really not much you guys can do about this sealer. You just have to run over it. The thing is learning where to enter. Enter here and you don't touch it. You don't actually have to touch it until you swing back across it. So when you actually enter turn 11, you should be on the curb a little bit inside. It's dirty here, but stay there and you don't hit any patch until you come out here. So I come in early on the curb, swing out wide, and then hit these patches. But by that time, I'm already standing my bike up, getting my bike up straight to come parallel to the straight, back down to 1 and 2. And that's really more of the racing line, or what the racing line would be for this track. A little bit tighter in 7, a little bit tighter in 10, and definitely tight on the entry into 11. 1 and 2 again, that's just, remember to hold it a little longer than normal. And let's just watch, there's a couple people here that, if you watch where the camera is, and then you watch where the people's bikes are in relation to the camera's going to be on the line, right? So the camera's on the racing line. Here's our turn-in point. Notice we're on the inside of that curb, and we go curb to curb inside the patches. And when you accelerate out of there, the bike's going to drift out a little bit. There's your brake markers right there, 200. You can totally avoid the patches in 3 again. See how those guys waited? They should have turned in just a tad earlier to miss the patches. Good on the exit. They both did good on the exit there. You don't have to swing way out wide if you don't want to. You really, I mean, there's a lot of room for turn 5, but you don't have to swing all the way out. You can keep that a tighter arc too.
Oh, you don't have to.
you do want to go to the edge of the dirt before you turn in, right?
On 5?
Coming up into 5?
Yeah. Yeah, way out to the side there. So this really, like I said, believe it or not, it looks bad, but it's kind of grippy, even though there's dust. Again, we can't really avoid the patches. We can avoid them a little bit on the entry, but the exit, it's impossible. And that's what a back tire looks like. Alright, so again, when we're coming up into turn 7, this blind uphill left-hander here, it's best to kind of stay in the middle of the track if you can. See, everybody's swinging way outside. You should be over here. Look at this. I can suck it up against there a lot tighter, and that sets me up to be over here for this right-hander. He's kind of, see how he's pointing himself a little bit? He's having to stand the bike up and pitch it back in. And there's a good turning cone. There used to be a box there. It's faded now. But and again here, the clean line is on the inside to avoid all the patches. And this is what you were talking about, Johnny. I drift out, I pull it back in just a tad, and I get my knee right here on the curb, and I stay to the inside of these patches right here. See all those patches? I'm on the inside of that stuff. And right there, as you can see, the bike will come up a little bit. That's just under power. It's normal. But one thing about today is we really need to be cognizant that your bike's going to move a lot today. Just be prepared. Get up on your feet and ride up off the seat. Get on the ball of your feet and push yourself up off the seat and use your legs to hold you up off the seat. That way your suspension will work, the bike will slide, the bike will move, and you're not going to feel it because you're up on the ball of your feet, resting up off the seat. If you're sitting on your seat out there riding around, you need to get up off the seat. If you're up off your seat on your pegs, the bike will move underneath you, and you're not going to feel as much of an effect as if you were sitting, compressing the suspension. So get up off of the seat if you can. And that also helps you to move around on the bike a little bit too, and we'll talk about that in our body positioning drill a little later on.